So your quiz tomorrow is on 3.1 and 3.2. The first section says, without graphing, classify each system as independent, dependent, or inconsistent. So remember, this deals with the slopes and y-intercept. So what do we know about the slope and the y-intercept if it's independent? Same, different. Different slope, different y-intercept. What about if it's dependent? Same slope, same y-intercept. And inconsistent? Same slope, different y-intercept. So remember, if it's different slopes, it's automatically independent. So looking at number 1, how can we find out what the slope and the y-intercept is? What form do we need it to be in? Y equals mx plus b. So how do I get this to be y equals? Looking at the first one, let's do the first one first. So I have y equals here. How do I move that 4 to the other side? Add 4. So I'm just going to say y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. So I just switched, instead of y being on the right side, I just moved it to the left. So just moved it over there. What's my slope here? Negative 1/2. And what's my y-intercept? 4. Slope, y-intercept. So let's do the second one now. What do I need to do first in the second one? Add 3x to both sides. So 2y is equal to 3x minus 8. Then what should I do? Divide everything by 2. So y is equal to what? So what's my slope? 3/2. And what's my y-intercept? Are my slopes the same? My slope is 3/2 and 1/2. So they're not the same. So automatically, what does that make it? Independent. When your slopes are different, it's automatically independent. Any questions? All right, number 3. So what do I have to do first for the first equation? Nothing. It's already in y equals mx plus b. So what's my slope? Negative 3/2. And what's my y-intercept? Negative 2. And the second one, what's my slope? Negative 3/2. And what's my y-intercept? Negative 4. So what is it when you have the same slope and different y-intercepts? Inconsistent. So what do I have to do first for the first equation? So we want it to be y equals, so we're going to divide everything by 2. So divided by 2, divided by 2, divided by 2. So this cancels. So I have y equals, what's negative 4 divided by 2? Negative 2. And what's 3x divided by 2? 3/2x. What's my slope here? 3/2. Awesome. So even though this isn't in slope-intercept form, we can still see what the slope is because it's just what's in front of the x. And what's my y-intercept? Negative 2. Now the second equation, what should I do? Divide everything by 2. So I have y equals 1/2 x. What's 4 divided by 2? 2. So what's my slope? 1/2. And what's my y-intercept? 2. So are my slopes the same? No. So when your slopes are different, what is it? Independent. All right, number 7. Here we're graphing. So to graph, we need our slope and we need our y-intercept. And then our answer is just wherever our lines intersect. So for the first equation, what's my slope? -1. And what's my y-intercept? -2. So first thing I want to do is plot what? Y-intercept. So I'm going to put a point at -2 on the y-axis. And then how do I do the slope of -1? Down 1 to the right 1, down 1 to the right 1. So then just connects your points. And then let's do the second equation. What's my slope? 3. What's my y-intercept? 2. So what do I need to plot first? 2. So I put a point at 2. And how do I do the slope of 3? Up 3, right 1. Then just connect your lines. Where do these two lines intersect? Awesome. -1, -1. So that would be my answer at this point here. All right, let's go to number 9 on the next page. Number 9's a good one. First equation, how can I solve for y? I need to get it to y equals mx plus b, so what can I do? I can add y, move it to the other side, so this would be 5x is equal to -2 plus y. Well, now I have to move the -2 over. So what can I do? Add 2. Yeah, you could have moved the 5x and then divided everything by -1. You'll get the same answer. So here we have 5x plus 2 is equal to y. So if this is all equal to y, I could just move the y to the other side here. It doesn't matter. It just looks this a little bit different, but it's the same. So what's my slope? Slope 5. And my y-intercept? 2. What do I need to plot first? 2. So put your y-intercept first. And then how do I do the slope of 5? Up 5, right 1. So this is 5 over 1. So up 5 to the right 1. It'll be off the graph a little bit here. But I could just flip both of them, and instead of going up and to the right, I can go down and to the left. So down 5 and to the left 1. And connect your points. You can just do but make sure you do the opposite of both. So it'll always work. If I had one like here, if I had this point, instead of going up 1 and to the right there, I would just go down and to the left. So it still makes that straight line, but you just have to flip both. Instead of going up and to the right, down to the left. So do the opposite of each thing. All right, for the next equation, y is equal to -3. What's the first point I should plot? On the x-axis or the y-axis? The y, because it's y is equal to -3. And then do I have a horizontal line through it or a vertical line through that point? Horizontal, because if I put a vertical line through that point, then it wouldn't have mattered that I put a point at -3 on y. So it has to be a horizontal line. Now where do these two lines intersect? Awesome. -1, -3. So that's my answer. All right, let's take a look at 11. So for the first equation, I need it to be in slope-intercept form. So what should I do? Subtract x, since it's positive, I want to subtract it. So I have negative 2y is equal to negative x minus 2. And then what should I do? Divide everything by negative 2. So this would be y is equal to, what's negative x divided by negative 2? 1 over 2 x. And negative 2 divided by negative 2? 1. So what's my slope? And my y-intercept? Positive 1. So my first point goes to positive 1 on the y-axis. And how do I do the slope of 1/2? Up 1 to the right 2, up 1 to the right 2. Then just connect your points. For the second equation, how do I get it to be y equals? Subtract x. So I have y is equal to negative x plus 4. So what is my slope? Negative 1. And what's my y-intercept? 4. So I point at 4 first. Then how do I do the slope of negative 1? Down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. Just connect your points. So where do these two lines intersect? Awesome. 2, 2. So that's my answer. Any questions on the graphing ones? Yes, I can.
I don't feel like I have enough room.
All right, we'll do it together. So for the first equation, how do I get it to be y equals?
Minus 3x on both sides.
Subtract 3x on both sides. So I have y is equal to negative 3x minus 3. So what's my slope?
Negative 3x.
Negative 3. And what's my y-intercept? Negative 3. So I'm going to put a point at negative 3. And how do I do the slope of negative 3? So negative 3 over 1. So which direction am I going to go? Left and? So I go down, and you always go to the right. So I would go down 3 to the right 1. But since this is off the graph, I can go in the opposite of both. So instead of going down and to the right, I'm going to go up 3 to the left 1. Up 3 to the left 1. And then just connect your dots. So let's do the second equation. How do I get it to be y equals? Minus 3x on both sides. So here I have y equals negative 3x plus 4. So what's my slope? Negative 3 over 1. And what's my y-intercept? 4. So I'm going to plot my y-intercept first. And then how do I do the slope of negative 3? Down 3 to the right 1. Down 3 to the right 1. Do these two lines intersect?
No.
No. So what's my answer? No solution. So remember, if your lines don't touch, your answer is no solution. What if I had a graph and my lines were the same exact line? What'd you give me back? What if they were the same exact line? What would my answer be? Infinitely many solutions. So if they're the same line, infinitely many solutions. Yeah, you have to know that for the quiz. So if they're parallel and they don't intersect, it's no solution. If it's the same exact line, infinitely many solutions. Any questions on graphing? All right, so looking at 13. Here I have to solve by substitution. So what's always step 1 in substitution? Isolate the variable. Do I have an isolated variable here? Yep, I have y equals. So y is equal to this whole thing. So what am I going to do with that? Plug it in for y. So I have negative 4x minus 3. I'm going to plug this whole equation in for y. So 5x plus 13 is equal to negative 1. What do I have to do first to solve? Distribute. What am I distributing? Negative 3. So make sure you distribute that negative sign with it. So I have negative 4x minus, what's 3 times 5x? Negative 15x. And what's negative 3 times 13? Negative 39. Is equal to negative 1. What should I do next? Combine like terms. So I have negative 4x minus 15x, which is negative 19x, minus 39 is equal to negative 1. What can I do next? So add 39 to both sides. Then negative 19x is equal to, what's negative 1 plus 39? Or 39 minus 1? 38. And then divide by negative 19. So what's x equal to? Negative 2. So there's x. How do I find y? Plug it back into x. It doesn't matter which equation, just make sure you plug it into x. Do I plug it into the first or the second? So y is equal to 5 times negative 2 plus 13. Ian, what should I do first to solve?
Subtract basically. I'll wait a little.
Thank you. So 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. Ian, what's negative 10 plus 13? 3. So y is equal to 3. How would I write my answer? Negative 2, comma 3. Any questions here? All right, let's look at 15. Do I have an isolated variable?
Yes.
Yep, so I'm just going to take that and plug it into what? Plug it into y. So I have 3x minus 3 is equal to negative 3. How do I solve for x? Add 3 to both sides. So 3x is equal to 0. And then what should I do? Divide by 3. So what's x equal to? 0. How do I find y? I could plug it into x, but do I already know what y is? Yeah, it told me right here, y is 3. So I don't even have to, if I plugged it into x, I would get y is 3. So how would I write my answer? 0, 3. So you could plug it in, but just to save yourself some time and effort, just look at it. It says y is equal to 3, so that's your answer. All right, let's look at 17. So here, we still have to do substitution. So do I have a variable that's isolated? Nope, not yet. But which variable do I want to isolate? This one? Yeah, I want to isolate this x because it has nothing in front of it, so it just looks like it's going to be the easiest one to isolate. So how do I get that x to be all by itself? Add 3y. So I get x is equal to 3y plus 14. So if x is equal to this, what do I do with it? Plug it into x. So I have negative 3y plus 14 minus 7y is equal to 16. What should I do first to solve? Distribute. Don't forget to distribute that negative to both things inside your parentheses. So I have negative 3y minus 14 minus 7y is equal to 16. Now what should I do? Combine like terms. So what's negative 3y minus 7y? Negative 10y minus 14 equals 16. What should I do next? Add 14. So negative 10y is equal to 30. Rioni, what should I do next? Divide. Divide both sides by negative 10. So what's y equal to? Rioni, what's positive 3 or negative 3? Negative 3. Because it's 30 divided by negative 10. So y is equal to negative 3. How do I find x? Plug it back in. Do you want to plug it into the first equation or the second one? Sure, we can plug it into the second. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you plug it into y, since it's y equals. So x minus 3 times negative 3 is equal to 14. What do I need to do first? So it's negative 3 times negative 3. Positive 9. So x plus 9 equals 14. Subtract 9. So x is equal to? What's 14 minus 9? 5. How do I write my answer? Awesome. 5 comma negative 3. So let's look at 19. So solve by elimination. Remember, you need a positive number and a negative number so they'll cancel out. But it has to be that same number. So in 19, do I have the same number that'll cancel? No. How can I change one of my equations to have the same number for the same variable to cancel? Multiply. Which one should I multiply here? The first one by what? So if I multiply this by 5, I get negative 5x minus 10y equals 0. Will negative 10 and negative 10 cancel? No, because one of them is not positive. So I have to multiply it by negative 5. So times negative 5, times negative 5, and times negative 5. You can multiply the first equation by negative 8. That would work. Yeah, because this one's a negative 8, so you would need the top one to be positive 8. So since it's already a negative x, it would have to be multiplied by negative 8, so then it becomes positive. Yeah, you could multiply the first one by negative 5, or you could multiply the first one by negative 8. So here, what's negative x times negative 5? Positive 5x. And what's negative 2y times negative 5? 10y. And 0 times negative 5? 0. So now do I have the same number that'll cancel out? Yep. This negative 10y plus 10y cancels. So what's negative 8x plus 5x? Negative 3x, and that's equal to negative 18. What should I do next? Divide both sides by negative 3. So what's x equal to? 6. How do I find y? Plug it in. Do you want to plug it into the first or the second? The first one. Negative 6 minus 2y is equal to 0. What do I have to do first? So negative 6 minus 2y is equal to 0. And then what? add 6. So negative 2y is equal to 6. Divide by negative 2. So what's y equal to? Negative 3. How would I write my answer? 6, comma, negative 3. Perfect. Any questions here? Let's do 21. Do I have a variable that'll cancel out right away?
Yes.
Which one?
5 and negative 5.
So the 5y and negative 5y. So those will cancel. So I can just go ahead and add everything together. So what's 2x minus 9x? Negative 7x. And what's 24 minus 3? And then what should I do next? Divide by negative 7. So what's x equal to? Negative 3. Super careful on your quiz that you guys are super important that you guys are careful with your signs. Because if you put 3 that's different than negative 3, then you'll get a different answer for y. So just be careful. How do I find y? Plug it in. I think I like the first one better, so I'm going to plug it into x in the first one. So I have 2 times negative 3 plus 5y is equal to 24. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So if I add 6 to both sides, I get 5y is equal to 30. Then what should I do? Divide by 5. So what's y equal to? 6. How would I write my answer? Negative 3 comma 6. Any questions here? All right, last one, 23. Do I have any variable that'll cancel out right away? No, so what do I need to do? Times negative 2, awesome, because if I have a positive 6y here, I need this to be a negative 6y. So times negative 2. So times negative 2, times negative 2, times negative 2. Right, one of them has to be negative, one has to be positive. So it has to be the same number, but a negative and a positive. So I have 4x minus 6y is equal to negative 22. I'm just going to rewrite the top equation right below it. So this is negative 5x plus 6y equals 14. I see my y's are going to cancel. What's 4x minus 5x? Negative x. And what's negative 22 plus 14? Negative 8. And then divide both sides by negative 1. So what's x equal to? 8. How do I find y? Plug it in. I'm going to plug it into the second one. So negative 2 times 8 plus 3y is equal to 11. So this would be negative 16 plus 3y is equal to 11. What should I do next? Add 16. So 3y is equal to 27. Divide by 3. So what's y equal to? 9. So how would I write my answer? 8 comma 9. Awesome.